Hi, I'm Steve with Decorator Supply, and this video will take you step by step through the permanent application of compo ornament to unfinished woodwork using the steaming process. The compo ornaments are casted from a blend of organic ingredients that have remained basically the same for centuries. History tells us that during the Italian Renaissance, craftsmen pressed putty into molds to produce high-quality replicas of hand carvings for the woodwork. Let's take a look at the different materials and tools we'll be using to do the job. A stainless steel pan that's about 23 by 13 by 3 inches deep, a piece of canvas that is about 3 inches longer and 3 inches wider than the pan, 2 hot plates as a heat source, a 1-inch putty knife, a small paintbrush, and about 10 spring-type paper clips. The first step will be to clip the canvas stretcher tightly around the edges of the pan, leaving an open triangle in one corner. As an option, a wood frame could be constructed to fit over the pan with the canvas tightly stretched around the frame. Next, the pan will be placed on the hot plates. Work carefully on a stove top if one is available. You will need to pour about 1.5 inches of water into the pan and then turn on the hot plates. As the water is heating up, it's a good time to position the compo ornament exactly where it needs to be on the workpiece. Mark it for relocation with a pencil. As the water begins to boil, dip the brush in the water and moisten the canvas with a small amount of hot water. This will help speed up the process. It's also important to use extreme caution when you're working with boiling water and live steam. As soon as you can see steam coming through the stretcher, it's time to place the ornament on the canvas. The object is to steam the compo until the glue contained in the material becomes activated enough to self-adhere to the work surface. The amount of time you need to steam depends on how hot the steam is and how fresh the ornaments are. Ornamentation that has been kept for a few months will take much longer than fresh from the factory ornaments that are a few weeks old. It is a good reason to order the compo so that you receive it a week or two from when you intend to use it. You will notice that steaming also renders the compo flexible for projects that require the ornamentation to be applied to curved or irregular surfaces. The pieces should be lifted and checked to see if the glue is being activated and how soft or flexible the piece is becoming. When you can see a compo impression of the part on the canvas, it usually means that the part is ready to remove and apply. There is very little time to reposition the part after it's placed on the work surface because of the almost instant contact nature of the glue. The part will be carefully lifted and placed on the workpiece. Using the pencil marks as a guide, it should be firmly pressed into place for 100% contact. Next, we will cover the handling of lineal composition ornamentation. We start the process by dipping the ends of the pieces into boiling water for a few seconds before we lay them on the stretcher. This will ensure that the ends will fuse to each other, ensuring very tight and invisible joints. They come from the factory in lengths that can vary from 6 to 20 inches. However, they are engineered to fit together without disturbing the pattern repeats. Once the glue is properly activated, the length of molding is laid on the woodwork and pressed into place. The next length will then be crowded tightly against the previous piece so that the joint is very tight and can't open in the future due to shrinkage. The lineal pieces should never be stretched, but rather compressed to avoid such occurrences. Finally, a strip of compo is steam applied to curved work. The ornament can be steamed and curved within limits, so it's best to check with us before proceeding with a project that involves sharp or radical curves. Again, the ornament is lifted from the canvas to ensure that the steaming process is complete and that the glue is activated. If the back side of the ornament is merely wet, that's not good enough. The glue has to be activated. And it must be noted that it needs to be put on the work surface immediately and not carried around. So that brings this instructional video to an end, and thanks for watching.